let's now talk about pitch deck. What exactly is pitch deck? So, as already mentioned, raising fund is almost like a sales job. You need to reach out to consider investors uh, as your customer, and you need to sell your company to these customer and take their money out from them. Fundraising process. You are selling for that. Even if you want to say, sir, you are the best. You are the best investor into the world, and all you need to say it. So this is how it exactly was. What we tell into the industry, apart from Steve Jobs, that customer is God. Steve Jobs never considered customer as God. He always tell that customer doesn't know anything. We will tell them what to buy. So investors are also like that at the time of fundraising. They are like customer, and customers are always God. So you need to consider that. And to you it is completely game of attention, so you need to put away you need to go ahead with a pitch deck where you are going to where you are going to impress them with the first 3 to 4 slides. That is the thing. I have been to almost like 100 of pitch sessions, live investment sessions also. I was jury member. So there if the first or second slide was not good, I just used to pick up my phone and either I used to go on to LinkedIn. I used to start checking my mails and all. So this is what happened. Second, when it comes to first round of funding, generally angel investors invest into you. They really like to invest into people. So they like passionate people out there onto the stage. So if you are going to pitch in front of them on a stage, on a business plan competition, on a pitching session, because for angel investment, it generally starts from there only. No angel investor is going to entertain your the pitch when you are going to send it across to through a mail. So even if you are going to send it through mail, what they are going to do, they are going to collect like 10 such pitch decks. They will review it, they will collect like 10 such pitch decks, and they will call a pitch session where all these startups will come and pitch, and they will have a pool of investors sitting. So it is like a sales that you are going to do, and you will going to have that 5 minutes of your sales pitch, which you are going to put across in front of the investors. And you are going to raise money only, because once they will be impressed by the pitch deck, they will ask you to have another session. So it takes generally 3 to 4 sessions to get a soft commitment from them that they are going to invest into the startup. Minimum 3 to 4 meetings between the founder and the angel investor. This is how it works. So if you think that you are going to raise fund in the first, you are just going to get the present in front of the investors and you are going to get fund. It doesn't work like that, and it will require something between 3 months to 6 months of time to raise fund. So this is how it works. Second, when we are talking about pitch deck, it shouldn't be long. Second, minimum use of words. You need to use minimum words into it. It need to be visually appealing. I will share one of the pitch deck, which is from one of my startups only. So let me share this. Okay, so perfect. So this is a startup. So these have been started by the founders of IIT. The core team is from IIT. The CTO is from IIT. The COO, Chief Operating Officer from IIT, and another person is from Monash University, Australia. These are kids like 20, 22 years old. So they started. They are trying to create an ecosystem of the pet industry into the India. So they are they are creating a completely pet centric ecosystem. This is just I just wanted to show what visual appealing pitch deck should look like. Just look at this pitch deck. How good the entire feel of the pitch deck is so good, so attractive. Like the problem here, he's talking about dog, so he used the dog. The font he is using, the elements that he is using, like the microphone, the handshake, and everything. Mobile UI UX he have used, and how he has mentioned. This is how it works. Okay, so it need to be visually appealing. It need to be less on words. It need to be less on definitions. It is like a rule of thumb. I would never going to read that much onto a pitch deck when it is you are projecting on a projector. I have the lowest attention span in the world. even lower than the goldfish. So if you are going to project something in front of the, it will be visually appealing to me, then I am only going to go to this second slide. So when you are talking about pitch deck, first it need to be concise and not more than 10 slide, because more than 10 slide, nobody is going to hear you more than 10 slides. It is one of the reasons of pitch session. It's like for 5 minutes and then Q&As. So it goes to 10 minutes, because it has been proven by research that when you are selling something, the attention span of the consumers goes out around somewhere around 3 to 3.5 minutes for a single product. So this is how they have researched and conducted it, and that's why pitch sessions are generally for 5 minutes. Now they have decreased it further. It goes from somewhere between 30 seconds to 1 minute, which is like elevator pitches. It is again a separate country, a separate animal. So it is into the master class, and we tell how to create a elevator pitch, because elevator pitch are something like went for a networking session where a lot of investors are there. So over a drink, you are having a beer, some investors come and sit next to you onto the bar counter, and you just start talking to them. So how you are going to pitch him, because you don't have the pitch deck. So that is what elevator pitch is. You need to tell your entire idea, competitive landscape, the problem that you are solving, the market size, everything into 30 seconds. So that is like, as mentioned, another country, another animal. So that's why it is a quite comprehensive thing. So we put it into the master class. How to start with the pitch deck. There need to be like 10 slide. One will be like page should be like the cover page, where your logo will be there, the name of the company will be there, and all, and the link there. What is the URL of your website? Are you present on the Google Play Store? Are you present on iOS? So just put the logo out there of Google Play Store and iOS Store, and then put the link of the URL. So first page will be like a cover page or welcome page. The second page should always be the problem, because you need to first define the problem. What is the exact problem? And it shouldn't be like going into paragraphs. Okay, suppose there is a problem of you say like the problem might be the milk delivery every morning at your doorsteps. After COVID and Corona thing, everything has stopped, and it has stopped in a like a really really large way. So how you are going to how you are going to define this problem? It can be anything like there is a problem that for working couples, as they are unable to go to the milk booth into the morning. They are unable to procure milk before going to office, and then when they are coming back from the office, they go and so just define this problem in like 2-3 lines. What is the problem? And then put it across. Make a question mark, make it a bit graphic and all, and just put it across there. First slide will be like the problem. Second will be solution. What is the solution? It is not what you will be providing the solution. What is the solution of this entire problem? So you need to create a solution for it, hypothetical solution, and then you need to present in the second slide about the solution. What should be the solution for this problem, and that solution need to be hypothetical. Third will be USP. So in this slide, you will be providing that what solution you are providing and how it is different from others, or how it is unique. So this is where you will be defining about the define your approach for tackling this problem. Again, if you are talking about your approach to tackling this problem, it shouldn't be like you are writing an entire paragraph. You need to understand that it is not a business plan. Business plan can go into 100 of pages. It is a pitch deck. It needs to be into 10 slide plus welcome and thank you. That will be 12 slide. And then it need to be graphically visually good. And then you need to be use minimum of text into it. It need to be crisp. It need to be sending across the message in the right way. And you will be surprised, there are some websites which are just you need to put the entire paragraph of the entire thing into those websites, and they will come up with 2 line or 3 line, the entire summary or gist of the entire paragraph. The people who write pitch deck, they are using these website. I guess they are paid website, but there are websites which are doing this thing. So you can always talk to somebody into your friend circle, or anybody into your family who is good with the English literature. They might help you out with it. a bit of marketing will always help, because while creating a pitch deck, you should have a bit of understanding of which terms to be used into it, which is like more attractive words. Also, when you are talking about your unique selling proposition or your solution, don't use words which you are not implementing just to impress the investors. I was sitting, there was an investment pitch session which was taking place at IIFT Kolkata, Indian Institute of Foreign Trade. I was sitting there, and there was like cash on the table, and we were. It was like real investment session. There was a startup founder came, which were started talking about the. He came up with a travel agency kind of app, something like Make My Trip. So we one of my fellow investor, his name is Raghav. Raghav is the founder of Hype, HYPE. It is into luxury car rental. So you can rent a helicopter from it. You can rent a Mercedes from him. You can rent a Royal Royce from him, the Lamborghini from it. So he's doing that. So he got interested into it because it was related to his industry. Raghav got a bit interested into the idea, and then he was, what is like unique, because there is already like Make My Trip and all. Then he moved to the slide where he told that, okay, he is using the AI and ML for tour booking and everything. Then it was like me, Raghav started looking at me, and I was also like, okay, now he's fooling us. Because when we asked, then I asked him, what is the AI and ML that you are using into your entire product, your app, which will be like different from Make My Trip? Then he told that, okay, we are informing the users of our app about the weather condition of that place. So that can be done any app which is providing you the weather of that place, Google Weather or any Yahoo Weather or any app. iOS have their, Android have their own. So this is not an AI ML thing, and even investors were initially getting interested into his startup or app because he was really running it in a good way and he was making some revenue. He was making some good revenue out of it. But the moment he lied that he's using AI and ML, that point it wasn't completely off for us, and we were like, okay, thank you, you can go now. Because investors are now not fool people, not foolish. They have seen the entire industry, especially people who are into investment ecosystem for like 5 to 10 years. They know each and everything about startup. They know each and everything about domain. So you can't fool them. So don't just throw some fancy word in front of the investor into your solution slide and believe that they are going to believe into it and going to buy into it. Only say what you have done into your startup, and you are confirm about it. If you are talking about future, you need to be confirm about it. Don't put even a thin hair of doubt into the mind of an investor, because as already mentioned, if you might have seen the videos which I uploaded into the course, the day one videos, there I have mentioned that they are investing, if it is a VC, they are investing somebody else money, and if they are an angel investor, they have investing their years of sweat and blood into you. So even a doubt as thin as a hair is into their mind, they are not going to invest into their startup. So don't put fancy word, don't lie into this slide. Then comes the competition and the entry barrier of the entry. So how to talk about it. So people will always, the investor is always going to ask you, okay, when you are talking about, let's talk about competition, what is the competitive landscape? Suppose you are starting with an e-commerce or marketplace. There are already app like Amazon out there, Flipkart all there. Though I will never advise you to go into the same segment, but if you suppose you are starting something like Nykaa, where they have started with the cosmetic industry, you are coming up with the e-commerce site where you are trying to start with something like, which is e-pharmacy was also like a marketplace or e-commerce site, but it was e-pharmacy was completely home medicine. So in future there will be things which will be coming around. So when you are talking about competition, you need to talk about specific that portion there. If you are coming up with a cosmetic brand, so you only need to focus on, okay, our competitor is the cosmetic department of the Amazon. The number of the sales which are going into the cosmetics. So you can compare the number. If you are going to compare directly with Amazon, it is not going to work. You can never beat Amazon or Flipkart at this point of time. So you need to just be specific about the domain in which you are entering as of now. If you are, so to take an example, when Mahindra came, Mahindra got a lot of funding. He recently raised 100 million 2 days back. I think from Singapore, some investor from Singapore. So they were quite specific that we are not going to compete with Flipkart. We are not going to compete with Amazon when it comes to marketplace or this thing, the e-commerce thing. We are only going to compete with their clothing section. You will see that the product out there are not that good when it comes to apparel section of Amazon and Flipkart. This is one of the differentiator that Mantra created. They came up with a branded product onto their platform, which is also an e-commerce, which was also an marketplace, but it was far better. The apparel section was 10x better than Flipkart and Amazon. So this is the difference, and this is how he killed the competition out here. So when you will be talking about competition, talk to the real competition, not that you are talking holistically that he's also into competition, or even it will be really foolish to tell that there is no competition into the market, because then also a doubt comes into the market, into the mind of the investors. If there is no competition, why haven't anybody has done it? Will it is going to work or not? So you have to show some competition. How you are going to show it will be completely on you, and be so realistic competition. Barrier of entry, how you have created that barrier of entry. Either you need to have a really good product which is like have a good differentiator with it, or you need to have a good processes, or you need to have a network effect, like Oyo Room. They have a network of 2-star and 3-star hotels. So these are something I believe if you have attending a session for the fundraising, you might be aware about the business plan and the idea validation or not. So this is how you create the what is the barrier of entry, why competitors can't match with you in the coming future. They will be able to match you in like 1 year's time, but can't match you at this point of time. So you have the edge over them, what we call as mini monopoly. That the term we use into the I use generally, that mini monopoly. You need to create a mini monopoly into the market to launch your product. If your product is something which can be easily replicated, and knockoffs can come into the market. This slide then comes the revenue model. You have to create you have to put the detail about the revenue model, that how you are earning. It is a subscription basis, or it is a sales basis, it is a commission basis, whatever you are done. Because if you are coming at this stage, so it is obvious that you have worked on the huge Excel sheet that generally every founder, the financial model, and the huge Excel sheet on which everybody works. So, and you need to have a projection also, because investor would like to know if he or she is investing money, where his money is going to get parked at 3 to 5 years of time. So just put some number out there into the revenue model, how much we are projecting. It can be like the what compounded average growth rate, जो होता है CGAR, we call it compounded average, CAGR, compounded average growth rate. You can throw that number also of that domain. So you need to put that projection, how you are going to how much you will be going to capture the market of CAGR and all. Then you also need to put a bit about where you will be investing your money when you will be getting fund, or right now where you are putting the money, what we call the cash burn thing. So this is like cash burn, how much you are spending per month. So you need to also put into that, and if you can put some like asterisk and term asterisk, like okay, we are investing such and such. Keep it into bullet point. Okay, HR we are investing this much, on technology we are investing this time, in marketing and sales we are investing. That's all. This is your monthly cash burn rate. Done. Target market, you need to specify the target market, as I mentioned let me just show that slide again for the target market, and you will be in a better position to understand that. Okay, so this is how the target segment has been created. He created for the global market of the target segment. He created like the Indian market, $3 billion, 20% year-on-year growth, 5% year-on-year growth into global market, 25 million organic user base into India, 600 million organic user base globally. So this is how it created. He created the market sizing. We aim to capture 10% of the Indian market in the coming 3 to 5 years. Even if you calculate 10% of 25 million, will be somewhere around 2.5 million. That will be 2.5 crore of user onto his app. And also you need to put a bit about these target segment, because this is something which excites the investor a lot, because you have done your research that who are these exact target segment. If you talk about the Big Basket when they started, or the Swiggy when they started, so they started their target segment were generally uh, Dink, what they called it. They gave the name Dink, which is like double income, no kids. So both spouses were working. They were going to office in the morning. They were coming back. These were generally people who were working in the tech industry or into the BPOs, so that they were unable to have enough time onto their hand to just go out there and purchase grocery for their home. So this is the target segment of the Big Basket. So you need to put a bit about the target segment also, which is mentioned here: the age, geography, purchase habit, personal trait, what channel they are going to the market. It is part of the idea validation. So if you have done idea validation, you might be able to do this also. So it is not something which is like new. It is also part of the business plan. So if you have done the business plan correctly, it is there. Now, first you provided the solution that will be provided, how your solution will be unique. Now you will be defining your product. So the PPT just I sold about the small pond, their product is a platform, is an app where you can, which is a marketplace for anything which is related to the pets, where you can find service provider just like Urban Clap, because there is like grooming services for pet also, where the saloon people come and cut the hair of pets. There is a service providers like dog walkers will be there, dog trainers will be there, grooming services will be there. So the product will be defined in a manner like it is a market. First, it will be a social media like Instagram, where you go and share your photos of your pet and all. You can connect to other pet owners and all. Second will be the marketplace. Third will be the service provider domain. Fourth will be the doctors which they are bringing on board. And fifth will be the emergency services. Suppose your pet get ill at somewhere around 12 in the night, then you can go and book the emergency services. Pet ambulance will come and take your pet to the nearest veterinary person. So this is how you need to define your product and how it is adding value. So you have divided all the section which is there into the product. Okay, we are doing this. How it is adding value into the consumer or the customer, what we call like the user life cycle, how it is adding value. And so this is what you will put into the product and services. Milestones is a place, again, it is something where you can put uh, you need to put some vanity matrices, not again like we got like 1,000 followers onto Instagram and 2,000 Facebook. You need to put some vanity milestone. Okay, in last 6 months we were able to got 10,000 app downloads, or we are unable to onboard 10,000 consumer, out of which 3,000 turn around to be repeated customer, loyal customer. They are coming again. It is something to do with the lifetime value of the customer. Again, it is part of the business plan. And so uh, I am just believing that you are here. That means you understand everything about idea validation and business plan, because it is the third stage. So yes, so lifetime value, and also you need to put that into when you are putting milestone matrices. If you have, it is something like uh, you have added another feature into your product, that can also be put into the milestones. So these are something which you can put into your milestone. And when we are talking about the talking about we taking about the case study of the other pitch decks of like Facebook or Uber, then it will be really easy for you to understand. Funding so far, if you are going to, if it will be your first funding, then it won't be much of a thing. But if you got any soft commitment, or you got incubated, or you got into acceleration program. These things helps. Apart from that, funding so far, you also need to put a bit of cap table into it. It is like a capitalization table where you put how you have distributed your equity among the founders, or you have given some equity to the mentor, you have given some equity to the advisor and all. So you also need to put into this, because cap table is something which every investor is worried about. If you people have seen Shark Tanks, you will be aware that a lot of time the people like Kevin is sitting there, or Robert is there, or even a Lottie or Mark, they really get off when they the founders tell, okay, the stakes has been distributed in the wrong way. So you also need to put the cap table out here. So it will be like a first filtration, and how to again believe that you know how to distribute equity, and what equity to be given to the co-founder, and what equity to be given to the mentors and coaches. So it is like again another country. Some other time we can talk about it. It is part of the operations of business plan. The last is the team. You need to put the team, you need to put the team qualification, what they have studied. You need to pay if they are having any experience, what is their experience. Then you need to put the expertise, what is their expertise when it comes to your startup, what they are taking up, and what is their expertise. Suppose somebody is a software engineer, making them CTO, and then you get that, okay, this person is engineer from IIT Madras, then he was working with HCL previous to starting coming up on our team and starting it. And then the third will be, he is an expert on creating he's an expert on Android Studio, so he can create like really good Android apps. So this is like the educational qualification, the experience if that person is, and what is his expertise, and what domain he's handling into your startup. And the last thing, don't get nervous when you are pitching in front of investors. Uh, at times I say to people who into my incubation program that investment pitches are not like Kumbh Ka Mela, which comes after every 12 years. It will come after a week also. So don't get nervous. And also, if you are going to pitch the worst in front of the investor, they are not going to stand up from their chairs and going to slap you. So don't get nervous. You have nothing to lose there. You're just there to gain something. So be confident when you are, and try to tell it as a story. And I am talking about, try to create it like a story, because this is how angel investor like it. When it comes to VC, it is completely different approach. They are more into numbers, they are more into research and all. But when it is angel investors are quite emotional at times. So you need to create a story, how you came to the problem, and how you have you are trying to tackle this problem, and so on. And it is really bad idea to start telling them about your problem that your family have faced, or that your family have faced, or interested in that. The problem, if you have created a solution, why you have created a solution, what is the story behind that? Not story about your family, and not story about how you dropped out from your college, how you dropped out or creating. You are really passionate because they are really bothered about your passion. They only they are into, as mentioned, they are into entering a startup and then exiting. So they only care about their money. They only care about their money. So stop pitching sobbing story pitching in front of them, and just try to create a story about your product, about your startup only, about your startup only. That will going to that will like clap into their chair, like they will stand up and clap, or they will stand up and clap for you. So this is how pitches will be. Okay, so then after this, it will be like a thank you slide. Just put thank you for hearing, hearing us. If you can put a hearing us, if you can put a code, it is always advisable. It is always advisable put a good code, but this is put a good thank you, and this will be the last part of this slide.